A huge battle royal tonight to determine the number one contender for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Naomi relinquishes her Women's Championship, and a great Falls Count Anywhere match with Nikki Bella and Natalya. All this plus so much more on SmackDown Live. What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. February 21st, 2017. This is your official SmackDown Live review right here on the channel. Before we get into anything, guys, which we have a lot to go over, I want to thank everybody for showing massive support on my Monday Night Raw review last night. If you guys missed that, link will be down in the description, and I'll leave you guys a video annotation in the video that you're watching right now on the screen in front of you. I want to thank everybody for showing support for my Resident Evil 7 walkthrough. Part 7 is live right now. Make sure you guys go and check that out if you have missed it. And it's full of laughs, man. I'll tell you that. And I want to thank everybody for showing love to my sponsor, Audible. Audible is giving everybody free 30-day trial of the service. If you guys are watching SmackDown Live review tonight, free 30-day trial of the service. All you got to do is go through the sign-up process at audibletrial.com/offthescript. Compatible with iPhone and Android. Like I said, all you got to do is go through the sign-up process, and you have 30 days free of Audible. That includes one free audio book of your choice to download. You can't get any better than that, man. You honestly can't get any better than that. You guys want the death of WCW, Daniel Bryan, Shawn Michaels. You guys want to even get a pre-order for AJ Lee's new book, Crazy is My Superpower. And speaking of AJ Lee and her husband, CM Punk, they made the news this week. And they really didn't intend to. It was all thanks to The Rock. We'll talk about that on Off the Script. I got big opinions on that because apparently Vince McMahon was not happy about The Rock calling CM Punk after Monday Night Raw went off the air. Who gives a shit? We'll talk about that on Off the Script. But if you guys want to cash in for AJ Lee's new book, if you guys want Mick Foley's new book, JR's new book, Chris Jericho, Bob Holly, JTG, you name it, it is on there, man. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Take advantage of that. Audible is sponsoring this Raw and Off the Script every single week. And I want to thank them for being a huge part of this channel. And I want to thank everybody for showing love to audible.com. SmackDown Live. When was the last time you guys were this excited about a Battle Royal, man? When was the last time you guys were this excited about a standard run-of-the-mill Battle Royal on WWE televisions? I hate regular Battle Royals, man. I really do. Coming out of last week's SmackDown where Randy Orton relinquished, and I use that term loosely, relinquished his Royal Rumble opportunity, his Royal Rumble win for his WrestleMania opportunity. Everybody's crying, oh my God, this is bullshit. It's ruining the aspect of the Royal Rumble. It tarnishes the Royal Rumble, etc., etc., etc. I mentioned on Monday Night Raw review last night that Monday Night Raw is not building towards WrestleMania at all, yet. And that they should have been ashamed to put on such a piss-poor fucking show last night. It looks like SmackDown got the better of the pay-per-view schedule for 2017. Especially in WrestleMania season. Now, what do I mean by that? Look at what SmackDown had to do just a few weeks ago at the Elimination Chamber. They only had about 2 weeks to build towards the Elimination Chamber. They were in full Royal Rumble mode. They had to get everything ready for the Royal Rumble. They announced the Elimination Chamber was going to be for the WWE Championship, but they pretty much had to make that announcement because you're not going to do that with only 2 weeks left to go. So they got the big elephant in the room out of the fucking question. Or out of the equation. Elimination Chamber, what is it going to be for? WWE title, and the winner of that's going to go on to the main event of WrestleMania. They got that out of the way. They realistically had only 2 weeks to build towards the Elimination Chamber, and they did a very, very commendable job. It was a very decent pay-per-view with a main event that was top-notch. One of the best chamber matches of all time, out of all 20 that have been recorded in WWE history. They did a very commendable job. Coming out of the Elimination Chamber, SmackDown has several weeks to build for WrestleMania. And not 1 week will go by that is going to be wasted going into WrestleMania. Monday Night Raw, on the other hand, they come out of the Royal Rumble and they got to build towards Fastlane. Now, Fastlane ain't no fucking WrestleMania, and Fastlane really is not going to impress anybody all that much, because Monday Night Raw isn't impressing anybody all that much. But where Monday Night Raw should be putting their efforts and their energy into WrestleMania, they're putting it into Fastlane. So, look at the differences between SmackDown and Raw. SmackDown has 6+ weeks to build towards WrestleMania. Coming out of Fastlane, which Monday Night Raw now is in full swing towards Fastlane, and they're thinking about nothing but Fastlane. They're only going to have 4 weeks left to go till WrestleMania to build properly, to get everything they need to get on television for WrestleMania. I think SmackDown's going to be putting on better television. Not only have they been putting on better television since the brand split, since the draft, but they're going to be putting on better television leading into WrestleMania season. And tonight, that was clearly obvious. Very evident. Even a blind man could have seen it. SmackDown is not going to waste 1 fucking minute. They're not going to waste 1 week. They're not going to waste anything. They're not going to waste any time at all getting you the proper WrestleMania build. Everything that happened on this show tonight built towards WrestleMania. And if you are not happy with what SmackDown delivered tonight, you really are fucking delusional. If you think Monday Night Raw is doing things better than SmackDown, you are delusional. Raw is doing nothing right outside of Brock Lesnar, outside of what they're doing now with Samoa Joe. They are doing nothing right. Nothing. SmackDown, in several different segments span across 2 hours, they're doing literally everything fucking right. And they're making everybody excited for WrestleMania. That's a great fucking show right there. Their head was in the game. They knew what they needed to do. They know what they want to accomplish. They know they got 6 weeks. They're laying everything out on the line. We know what's coming for WrestleMania, and we're going to get build after build after build for different matches week after week after week. I love it. I love it. That's how you book television. And they got 1 less hour to do it. Great fucking show tonight by SmackDown. Now, I want to start off with the women's championship situation, okay? I didn't know Naomi's injury was going to be to the point where they had her give up the women's championship. I did not think that was going to be the case. In fact, I read that she would be back in just a couple of weeks, that it was just a minor injury. They're going to give her a couple of weeks off to heal the injury. She'll be back defending the title. WWE wanted her to go into WrestleMania as the champion. They wanted her to go into WrestleMania as the champion because they figured Naomi, being an Orlando resident, that would be all over the mainstream media. WWE can have a field day with that. You know how Vince McMahon loves his ESPNs and his fucking Fox Sports, and he loves all this mainstream attention. What better way to get Naomi into WrestleMania than the women's champion and being from Orlando? I thought everything was going to be okay. But you knew when Naomi came out tonight, there was something different about her. She was walking gingerly on her knee. She had this somber look to her as if the end of the world was near. And I mentioned this on Twitter, and I even tweeted it out. It looks like Naomi is very somber tonight. She has a very somber attitude, as if something bad is about to happen in her life. Little did I know that SmackDown Live was going to open up with Naomi relinquishing the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. And she did it in front of Daniel Bryan, who knows all too well about what it means to give up a championship that you worked so fucking hard for, only to give it up because you are unable to compete. And she thanked Daniel Bryan. She thanked Daniel Bryan for his kind words, noted how things change so fast in life. She said that being knocked off the mountain is like a free fall, and she will be back She will be back, and she can guarantee everybody's going to feel the damn glow. And I have made mention that I thought Alexa Bliss should have never lost the title. I made mention that Naomi was back on 3 weeks on television, was back on television for 3 weeks, and she really didn't deserve the title yet because there really hasn't been nothing there to prove to us, the viewer, that she deserves to be champion. After being on television and then off for several months and now back on, she really didn't warrant a title run or a title reign. I thought Alexa Bliss was doing fantastic with the title. She's been the best heel in the WWE, even more so than Charlotte. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say that Alexa Bliss is a better heel than what Charlotte is right now. Some might not like that, but that's just what I prefer. Where Charlotte is cringe and she comes off very overproduced, very scripted, Alexa Bliss seems more like a natural to me. That's just my opinion. But what does this mean for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship? Will we get a tournament? Are we going to get a series of matches? And we're going to have, Alexa Bliss meet Becky? Or are we going to get Mickie James involved? I was even thinking that they could have put the title on the line with the Nikki Bella-Natalya match. That would have been something that would have been different. Instead of giving it right back to Alexa Bliss and giving us another rematch between Alexa Bliss and Becky, which they ultimately went with, I was thinking maybe it would have been a better idea to give the hottest feud in all of women's wrestling in the entire WWE more of a reason. They've been busting their fucking ass. I thought Daniel Bryan should have honestly put the title on the line in the Nikki Bella versus Natalya match later on tonight in the Falls Count Anywhere. That's what I would have did. But Alexa Bliss warranted herself. Listen, I didn't get my rematch. I was due a rematch. And Daniel Bryan was poking fun of her. You had to wait a whole 2 weeks to get your rematch. You're going to get your rematch tonight. In fact, you're going to get your rematch right now. The vacant title on the line. Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch. SmackDown Live Women's Championship match. And Alexa Bliss ends up winning the title once again for a second time. And for the people who reached out to me on Twitter calling me a hypocrite for the title changes that we're seeing on SmackDown, I don't know what show you're watching. But this was not a title change for the sake of a title change. I don't know what the reason is behind Naomi's injury. I don't know if it's legit. I don't know if this is per storyline to have her built up going into WrestleMania as the underdog, as the sympathetic story. I don't know. Maybe that is the reason. Maybe this is all bullshit and this is all storyline for Naomi, and they're really thinking, you know what? Maybe we made the wrong decision. Maybe we slipped up a little bit too fast here, and we took the title off Alexa Bliss a little bit too quickly. And now this is more of a reason to build Naomi up as the sympathetic babyface, showing injury, relinquishing the title, and going into WrestleMania trying to fight back and get to WrestleMania and get her title back. Maybe that's it. I'm not really sure. I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard reports. I haven't read a report about Naomi's injury. The only report that I read was that she was dealing with a minor injury and that it wasn't severe. Now, if that is the case, SmackDown is doing what Monday Night Raw should have did last night. And now it's going to be too late for Monday Night Raw if they really want to go back and do this type of thing with Bayley. SmackDown is doing what Monday Night Raw should have did last night. Daniel Bryan didn't want to take the title off Naomi. Per storyline, and her not reaching the 30-day agreement to defend her title within that 30-day span, she had to relinquish the title because of medical tests that they found before the show. So again, I don't know if this is going to be a storyline. Bayley last night cheated or was given a title win last week on Monday Night Raw due to Sasha Banks' interference. The win was tarnished. Stephanie McMahon knew that. Yet she didn't do anything to take the title off Bayley, knowing that what happened last week was a tarnished victory, and it was undeserving of Bayley. She left it in the hands of Bayley to relinquish the title and do the right thing instead of being a boss who seen something bad happen and something wrong happen, you're leaving it in the hands of the performer to give your title, to give the title up. What sense does that make? If you're anybody in Bayley's shoes, you're not going to give up your fucking title. If you wanted to build sympathy for Bayley, if you wanted to build her up as a sympathetic babyface, you should have took the title off of Bayley. Forcefully. That would have built Bayley up as a sympathetic babyface. Everybody would have been shitting all over Stephanie McMahon. And now Bayley has to start back from square one. The title would go right back to Charlotte. We wouldn't have Charlotte fighting for another championship and a 5th title reign, nauseating as that sounds, at Fastlane. She should have been given the title, and it would have been as if nothing happened last week. That's what I would have did. If you want to build a sympathetic babyface, that's exactly what I would have did with Bayley last night on Monday Night Raw. If that is the road SmackDown is going with Naomi, kudos to them. Because now they got one over on Monday Night Raw again with the women's division. I hope that's the case. I hope this is not a serious injury. Time will tell. But I haven't read anything about her being seriously injured. So like I said, we'll find out soon enough. Alexa Bliss is the new women's champion. They did put on a great match, Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch. This was much better than anything they had previously put on. At the, what was the pay-per-view? It was TLC, right, where she won. It was better than the TLC pay-per-view match, in that tables match. It was better than the steel cage match that they had on SmackDown. It was better than any match that they had on SmackDown. And to me, it felt like this match ended abruptly. I don't know why it ended so fast. I don't know why you got to take a commercial break in the middle of a fucking title match on free television. There's other places to take a fucking commercial break. If you're vacating a title, and this is of great importance, and this is going to be something important to build towards WrestleMania, why is there a commercial break in the middle of this match? I don't understand that. And I fucking hate it. As soon as we came back from commercial break, the match was over. Becky Lynch was choked out. She was choked out. She had a knife-edge chop right to her fucking throat by Alexa Bliss. That stunned her enough to the point where Alexa Bliss rolled her up from behind and pulled the tights. 1, 2, 3, we have a new champion. Not only did Alexa Bliss win clean, she won clean, and I'm using that in quotes, but she won with no outside interference. You can't do anything about Alexa Bliss's victory. You can't. And this was not another title change. This was a title change forced upon by injury, whether it's legit or storyline. Okay? Bray Wyatt took the title off of John Cena at the Elimination Chamber because that's where the storyline is going with this. And if it's for the storyline and if it makes sense and it's going to make everything better on television, I am okay with it. I am okay with it. This is not like what we're seeing on Monday Night Raw with the title just being flipped back and forth between Charlotte and Sasha and Charlotte and Bayley and Sasha. It's not the same. And the tag team titles that I'm pretty sure went from the New Day to Sheamus and Cesaro to the Club. Now they're going to Enzo and Cass. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? None of those teams are built up enough for anybody to care. Nobody cares about anything that's going on right now, championship-wise, on Monday Night Raw. That's the complete opposite on SmackDown. And they're doing things here that make sense. They're not just giving fucking titles away just for the sake of it. Alexa Bliss wins the title back on a discrepancy here. Naomi relinquished the title. Becky Lynch got fucked over here again. Alexa Bliss cheating to win, showing you why she is the #1 heel in all of WWE out of the women that exist on both Raw and SmackDown. We had a post-match Mickie come out. Mickie James comes out to congratulate Alexa Bliss. She runs down after the match and tries to attack Becky Lynch, but Becky Lynch caught her with a kick and she sent Mickie James to the floor. I'm assuming that Mickie James and Becky Lynch and whatever they got going on is far from over leading into WrestleMania. We had a tag team match with American Alpha versus Tyler Breeze and Fandango. I'm happy to see Fandango on television, but I'm not happy to see Fandango being jobbed out at all. I mean, this is a quality fucking tag team. These guys know how to work. And it's bad enough you don't have a tag team division on either brand. Give these guys some time to get their shit in. This match lasted 3 minutes. And for most of this 3 minutes, Jason Jordan was getting his fucking ass kicked. He made the hot tag to Gable. American Alpha hit the double bulldog on Tyler Breeze, a.k.a. the Steiner Brothers finisher, and that was it. They pinned Tyler Breeze for the win. Now, I mentioned a couple of SmackDown reviews ago that if you're not going to utilize these guys as a tag team and you're not doing anything with the tag team division, why don't you break these guys up? Fandango could be a huge asset to you in the mid-card. Tyler Breeze can be a huge asset to you, the way he was in NXT in the main event scene on SmackDown Live. And if there's any place for Tyler Breeze to thrive and get back his mojo, it would be on SmackDown Live. So I don't know why they just don't go and split these guys up. Because clearly they have no fucking direction. They're doing nothing with Breezango. I hate seeing a quality duo like this, who are great by themselves, now trying to be a tag team. I hate to see this type of shit just wasted. I hate to see it wasted. If you're not doing anything with them, split them apart and give yourself a little bit more in the singles aspect on SmackDown. American Alpha wins the match. The Usos, after this, come through the crowd and deliver one of the best promos, probably the best promo they have ever cut on anybody in their entire career. I don't know half of what they said. All I was listening to was the delivery of both guys. Okay? For the most part, if you guys want a shortcut to what they said, all they said was when American Alpha is going to their hotel room and they're going to lay their heads down on their pillows before they go to sleep, and when they wake up in the morning and they're going for that nutrition bar, and when they wake up in the morning and they're going to the gym, getting ready to work out, there's always going to be a sense of paranoia surrounding them. And when they look behind them, there's going to be the Usos. It's not going to be fear. When you turn around, it's not going to be fear. When you turn around, it's going to be the Usos. So the Usos come out and deliver a fucking scathing promo in something that I've been waiting for several months now to see play out on television. When the American Alpha were just coming up on SmackDown, they were feuding with the Usos. We all thought the Usos were going to win the tag team championships on SmackDown. And they were cutting the American Alpha down left and right with chop block after chop block on SmackDown Live. And I thought the American Alpha were going to come back and fight and take the titles off the Usos. It looks like now we got the Usos in the chasing role, and they're chasing American Alpha all the way till WrestleMania. Going to be something very special there. Going to be something with a lot of fire underneath it, especially with promo work like that. I would love to see American Alpha counter that with a scathing promo of their own. Give these guys some mic time. Give these guys some mic time on SmackDown Live and let them come across the way the Usos came across to the live crowd next week. That's what needs to happen. And by the way, the Usos cut their promo. It looks like SmackDown is letting the handcuffs loose, man. Some of these guys are getting the ball and they're running with it. Never did you think the Usos would cut a promo like that. Never. SmackDown is the land of opportunity, and that promo by the Usos was certainly the definition of opportunity. Amazing work by both Jimmy and Jay, and I can't wait to see where this goes with the American Alpha. Moving on next here, we had Nikki Bella versus Natalya in a Falls Count Anywhere match. This is the culmination of what has been building up since the Survivor Series. Falls Count Anywhere on SmackDown Live, and I will tell you this, man, it was fucking awesome. The only thing that I did not like about this match was the fact that it was fucking soiled with commercial breaks. You got a Falls Count Anywhere match with two women that have probably put on the best program out of both Raw and SmackDown, and every female on the roster. Number one, it didn't deserve to have a commercial break in the middle of a match. Number two, a Falls Count Anywhere match with a commercial break in the middle. Now, I don't understand that. Falls Count Anywhere. A match where anything can happen at any given moment. A pinfall can occur at any fucking time of the match, right? And we could miss it. They could probably end the fucking match while we're at commercial break. Now, I know they won't do that, but you gotta understand that that's the type of match it is. Now, if they wanted to do something where they have a commercial break thrown in there, it should have been picture-in-picture, like they did on that first episode of SmackDown following the draft, where you watch the match happening, but you see the commercial at the same time. They should have did something like that. in a match where anything can happen at any given moment, anywhere in the fucking arena, a pinfall can occur. You got to do something like that, man. You can't be taking commercial breaks in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Very, very shitty. I can't stand that. But these two women fought all over the fucking arena. They teased going through the announcer's table. They went into the crowd. Nikki hit a beautiful spinning heel kick off the barricade in the crowd. They fought into the back. And everything that happened before they got into the back was kind of tame. I mean, they were beating the shit out of each other. They were throwing each other into the announce table, like I said, into the barricade. They went into the crowd. But when it got into the backstage area, this is when things really picked up. Now, when I mentioned that everything that SmackDown did tonight really teased and planted seeds for WrestleMania. Look at where we are right now. Look at where we are right now. The Women's Championship possibly could be leading towards Naomi coming back and fighting in that sympathetic role for the title again at WrestleMania. They only mentioned she's going to be out 30 days, 40 days left till WrestleMania. The Usos and American Alpha. We got this and whatever happened in this match planting the seeds for what has been reported. And it looks like the reports are becoming a reality. Maryse was in the fucking back yet again. And she was thrown to the ground because the fucking tornado that Natalya and Nikki Bella created, somehow Maryse got sucked in yet again. Now, everybody was saying, oh, here we go, planting seeds at the Elimination Chamber when they were fighting in the backstage area. Maryse had fucking powder thrown on her. I didn't want to believe it. I'm like, all right, guys, calm down. Calm down. It might be something, yet again, it might not be. Okay? But they really amped up that it really is something tonight. We had Natalya and Nikki fighting in the backstage area. Now, Nikki sent Natalya through a fucking mirror, and she pretty much was destroyed after that. Went for a pinfall, 1-2, Natty kicks out. But before all this transpired, Natalya and Nikki were fighting, and Maryse was behind the curtain in this backstage portion of the arena. So we had those two women go through the fucking curtain. Behind the curtain, couldn't really tell who it was, but we kind of knew already who it was going to be. Maryse was behind the curtain, and she got sucked into the fucking Falls Count Anywhere match. So the camera panned away from Maryse, and they followed the women back into the arena. Like I said, Natty went into the fucking mirror, shattered all over the place. It was a great spot, sounded great, looked brutal. Then Nikki Bella speared her onto the stage. Natty tripped her, went for the sharpshooter. Bella reversed it into the STF, or the Fearless Lock. And out of nowhere, Maryse comes out with a fucking lead pipe and starts beating the shit out of Nikki Bella. And she causes Nikki Bella to lose the match. And Natty gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. The only way Maryse was put to a stop was that The Miz came out and stopped Maryse from injuring Nikki Bella any further with the lead pipe. So Maryse had enough. She had the powder thrown in her face at the Elimination Chamber. We had her get sucked into the action tonight behind that black curtain in the backstage area. Enough is enough. I guess it's not 3 strikes and you're out with Maryse. It's only 2 strikes. She came back with a lead pipe, said, you want to fucking beat me up and get in my way in the backstage area? Nikki didn't mean it. Nikki Bella didn't mean it, but Maryse took offense to it. Came out with a lead pipe, caused Nikki Bella to lose this feud and this match with Natalya. Natalya gets the pin over Bella. I thought it was a great match. And it set up what more than likely will be something going on with Miz and John Cena. And again, like I said, everything that happened on this SmackDown played a role in what will happen at WrestleMania. This was just another instance. Moving on to the main event, guys. The #1 contender battle royal to who will fight Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. John Cena, Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, The Miz, Luke Harper, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Mojo Rawley, Apollo Crews, and Kalisto. Before we get to the ending of the match, because that's what I really want to talk about, I want to go through the eliminations here, okay? Mojo Rawley was eliminated by Baron Corbin. Kalisto tried to hit his finisher on Ziggler. Then he did a moonsault to Dean Ambrose. Ziggler and Kalisto ended up on the apron. Ziggler hit his super kick, eliminated Kalisto. So Mojo Rawley and Kalisto, like I expected, were the first 2 guys out. Okay? So then Ziggler was on the outside. He was still on the apron. Cruz caught Corbin with a big boot and a clothesline. Cruz then kicked Ziggler outside the ring. Ziggler was the third one eliminated. Okay? Now, at this point, I don't know why you would make Apollo Crews look like a dummy, man. This is for the #1 contendership for the world title on SmackDown, for the WWE Championship. This is your ticket to go to WrestleMania. Why are you concerned about fucking Kalisto? I don't get it. I understand it per storyline because they have some type of beef going on, but this is for WrestleMania. Ziggler takes a fucking steel chair after he gets eliminated by Apollo Crews and starts beating the shit out of Kalisto with the steel chair. Apollo Crews is appalled by Ziggler's actions that from behind, Baron Corbin eliminates Apollo Crews. So your friendship and Kalisto's well-being is more important to you than WrestleMania's main event. How stupid do they make Apollo Crews look tonight? Unreal. This is fucking ridiculous. Man, I understand Apollo Crews had no chance of winning it. But sometimes, guys like that, in situations like this, in matches like this, could really have their stock elevated a little bit. When you're made to look like a fucking retard, there's no hope for you. There's absolutely no hope for you. So Corbin sent Crews to the floor. He was eliminated. Crews then chases Ziggler with the steel chair, and Ziggler and Apollo Crews run off into the backstage area. Cena went for the AA on Styles. He blocked it. Harper hit Cena with a big boot. Corbin took out Harper, and then Ambrose, and then he clotheslines Corbin. So there was a merry-go-round of fucking moves. Styles blocked the AA. You had Harper hit his big boot. Corbin took out Harper. Ambrose went off the ropes with his lunatic lariat. So everybody was down. Everybody got a taste of everybody's finishing move. Miz then hit Harper, Ambrose, Styles, and Corbin with yes drop kicks. Okay? Cena blocked a kick. Okay? Everybody was fucking down. He went for more attacks on John Cena. He went for the yes kicks, and this is where the Miz made a fatal mistake. Cena blocked the yes kicks, sent Miz to the floor with an elimination. So, again, every match on tonight's show had something with WrestleMania in mind. This is that moment in the Battle Royal. Cena hit a double German suplex on Ambrose and Styles. Corbin hit the end of days to John Cena. Okay? And again, Baron Corbin showing how foolish he is. He hits the end of days on John Cena, does Baron Corbin, and instead of picking him up, he made the same mistake he made at the Elimination Chamber. He end of dazed John Cena, and he doesn't go for the pin. He does the same fucking thing in the Battle Royal, and he stands grunting and showing off to the crowd. So what is going to happen? What is going to happen? Before he turns around, Dean Ambrose throws his ass over the top rope. So that's that. So Ambrose eliminates Baron Corbin from the Battle Royal. After that, you know Baron Corbin was going to get pissed. Baron Corbin dragged Dean Ambrose to the outside. He pulled him underneath the rope, so Dean Ambrose was not eliminated from the match. He did the end of days to Dean Ambrose on the outside, and then every official, there were 4 or 5 officials on the outside, and they ushered him to the back. So Baron Corbin was eliminated, but Dean Ambrose was temporarily taken out of the match. Okay? So that was that. Miz! This is where things broke down completely. After all of this was happening, all the referees were attending to Baron Corbin. The Miz came from the crowd and he eliminated John Cena. He came from the crowd back into the ring, eliminated John Cena over the top rope. So again, everything that this show was had WrestleMania in mind. And the match that Dave Meltzer has been reporting with Nikki and John Cena versus Miz and Maurice, it looks like we're getting that at WrestleMania. So the Miz eliminates John Cena, and he is done for. Okay? So Cena is eliminated. So now it was pretty much Harper, Styles, and Ambrose. Harper sent him to the apron. Styles got into the ring. Ambrose put both of them on the apron. So we have Harper, Ambrose, and Styles all on the ring apron. Harper kicks Ambrose right in the gut. He falls down. He is eliminated. It is now between Luke Harper and AJ Styles. And this is where things become very confusing. This is where things really ticked people off. And I don't understand why this ticked people off. Because the ending of this match is going to play into a grander scheme at WrestleMania. Okay? Everybody came to me on Twitter. JD, it was a botched ending. JD, it was a fucked up ending. Something was fucked up there. AJ Styles, and I know because it's the first thing I seen, AJ Styles hit the floor first. Okay? But it was intended to be that way. It was intended to be that way. You gotta think. Luke Harper landed second. But by WWE's ruling, they can't come up with the decisive winner. AJ Styles hit first. We all know that. Luke Harper should be declared the winner. But in WWE's mentality, both men landed on the outside. They can't come up with a conclusive winner. Out comes Daniel Bryan. He says there's a no contest. We're going to address this next week on SmackDown Live. So SmackDown Live ends in controversy. SmackDown ends in a no contest after a huge battle royal to determine the number one contendership for Bray Wyatt's WWE Championship. And he actually had something to say. All he did was appear on the Titantron and laugh at the fact that he still does not have an opponent for WrestleMania, and that closes the show. But what is everybody so upset about? What is everybody so upset about with the way SmackDown ended? You do understand that SmackDown has 6 weeks to go until WrestleMania. Why not stretch out every fucking little bit that you can? Why not give everybody watching SmackDown Live a WrestleMania build and a road to WrestleMania worthwhile? There's no rush. We have 6 weeks. There's no rush at all. Why not create and be creative with your storytelling? Why not drag this out and make people more intrigued? You, me, and everybody else is now going to watch next week because we all want to know who the fuck's going to WrestleMania to fight Bray Wyatt for the WWE Championship. WWE has you and me hook, line, and sinker for next week. I love the ending of this Battle Royal. I love the fact that it was a no contest. I love the fact that AJ Styles went out first. You want to know why? Because SmackDown is doing everything in their power to make sure WrestleMania comes first. That moment, just like everything else on this show, had WrestleMania in mind. Next week, Shane McMahon is going to get involved in this. This is not going to be a Daniel Bryan situation. Shane McMahon is going to come out and say and proclaim that Luke Harper is the winner. And by that, it begins Styles versus Shane McMahon, because Shane McMahon is going to give it to Luke Harper. He's going to announce Luke Harper versus Bray Wyatt for WrestleMania 33. How Randy Orton gets involved remains to be seen, but that's going to build up that intriguing storyline. Luke Harper got a very, very warm reception tonight. Everybody chanting, Luke, Luke, Luke. Styles hit the floor first on purpose. Everybody saying it was a botch. He hit the floor on purpose first. All because SmackDown has WrestleMania in mind. And that moment had WrestleMania in mind. AJ's going to get pissed. AJ's going to figure out that the authority is against him. AJ is going to attack Shane McMahon. And Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles will be set in motion for WrestleMania 33. If you guys did not see that, I don't know what you're watching. Now, that very well could be what happens. It could very well be the opposite. But I'm letting you know what I'm thinking of while I'm watching AJ Styles hit the floor first. Would you be interested in an AJ Styles Luke Harper match to determine a number one contender? I'm torn on it. I'd rather Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan in the ring with AJ and Luke Harper, and Shane McMahon steps over Daniel Bryan saying, listen, I'm going to take control of this. And he announces Luke Harper the winner, and Shane and AJ Styles is set in motion for WrestleMania. That's what I'm going with. Just keep that in mind next week. If it does happen, you heard it here first. But if they go with Luke Harper and AJ Styles, for a match one-on-one, I'm not gonna complain about that either. I'd just rather see the other thing happen because I would love to see some more intensity built in another program that leads to WrestleMania. That's just me, though. Let me know what you guys think. That's your SmackDown Live review. I'm JD. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. If you guys missed anything previously on the channel, annotations will be on the screen right in front of you. Please click that exclamation point, and it'll take you right to the video that you want to see. Also, thank you everybody for showing Audible some love. Take advantage of that 30-day free trial that includes one free audiobook. audibletrial.com/offthescript. And if you guys sign up for the service and you tweet me at JD from NY206 and show me what book you cashed in on, automatically retweet you every single time, man. Thank you guys so much. I'll be back tomorrow with Out of Nowhere with Joe Cronin Show tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. I am going to be seeing you guys again on this channel, hopefully tomorrow with some WWE 2K17 content, maybe some Resident Evil content, not sure which is going up yet, and I'll definitely see you guys on Thursday for NXT review. I'm JD. Hit that thumbs up on the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for Out of Nowhere and on Thursday for NXT. Talk to you later. WWE always does this, man. They always do the same fucking thing. Maybe I really should start watching Talking Smack, man. It seems like every fucking week, Talking Smack has some big fucking blockbuster announcement that is really important to what I'm talking about here on the review. So, before there's some fucking goon in the comment section pretending that I don't have all my information correct, I just finished my review, I go on Twitter, I realize what happened because people are fucking tweeting me like crazy. Not really the ideal situation I would have went with, but this is what they're going with. It will, in fact, be AJ Styles versus Luke Harper for the #1 contendership of Bray Wyatt's WWE Championship, and the winner of that match will go on to fight Wyatt at WrestleMania 33. So that is what they're going with next week. It will be AJ Styles versus Luke Harper in a one-on-one match stemming from the in conclusion, I suppose, of this Battle Royal tonight on SmackDown Live. So that's it. That's what they're going with, and that's all I got. I'll see you guys next week, and I just wanted to let you guys know about what is going on. It will be Luke Harper versus AJ Styles next week on SmackDown. I'll talk to you later.